So, what is up, guys? We have some awesome news for you. We have legit got announced that GRANBLUE event is going to be dropping with Setsuo with the release of Break Ride Night Mist and freaking Reverse Coxitus. So let's start with this reading. I'm excited because I always like playing GRANBLUE. They always got the bad end of the stick, but now they're going to get even better with these new freaking units, and I'm excited for this. So Night Mist is a break ride. When rode upon, your Vanguard gets plus 10,000 power, and until at the end of the turn, you call 2 cards from your drop zone. Those units get plus 5,000 power, but retire those units at the end of that turn. During your turn, if you have 4 or more rear guards, this unit gets plus 3,000 power. Okay, so that's his Vanguard effect. So pretty much the point of this card is going to be bringing in your Thanatoses. This is also going to be used for sacking for your Night Mists in the graveyard. If you have it, you bring in you're pretty much supposed to sack these units once they're on the field. Thanatos sacks himself once he hits Vanguard, giving you an extra attack. You can also sack another unit for Night Mist, so you keep your plays intact so you don't lose intercepts. So you will have a lot to work with, believe it or not. I actually feel like you can do stands now with all this calling from the graveyard for free. You can definitely micromanage yourself with that for sure. There's no way you can really lose the momentum on that. So that's good enough. So Night Mist is pretty good. Reverse Coxitus. Oh, this is the best. He actually got a little buff here. So what he does is you put the top 2 cards instead of 3 into your drop zone and call a card from your drop zone. That unit gets plus 3,000 power until the end of turn. There's your Thanatos plays. Smack the 11k units. This even smacks cross ride numbers, which is funny. So that's amazing as well. And then Coxitus actually got a very big bonus effect. If your drop zone has 10 more cards, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. And if there are 15 more cards, he remains a 21k beat stick on your turn. So in reality, they're legit compensating Coxitus without the freaking back row, which is great. Because now you don't need a back row for him, so he'll legit give himself his own 5,000 power. So that's going to be freaking amazing. I'm excited for Reverse Coxitus. GRANBLUE I was waiting for GRANBLUE to get this amazing freaking card, and now look at it. It is beautiful. Break Ride Night Mist, definitely a game ender for sure. With Reverse Coxitus, bring in more units by sacking 2 cards. Bring in a good unit. There's going to be so much fun with this. I can really abuse the stands with this since you're thinning so much. You can really give yourself that push and try to kill your opponent. Yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be really good. Wow, I am happy for this. On to sadder news. I guess I don't know how sad it can be, but we'll see. So here's the Gravity Ride Chain that we spoke about. When rode upon by Gravity Ball Dragon, look at 7 cards, add a Gravity Clash Dragon to your hand. If not, put it to soul. Or Schwartzchild. So I add the G2 or the G3. This is going to be good in a lot of ways because Schwartzchild's effect was revealed, and you guys are going to be like, well, I guess it was meant to be. But at least what we discussed, it had to be that way. So there's the G1, when rode upon by a grade 2 other than the Gravity Clash Dragon. Look at the 7 cards. So this card legit is micromanaging his superior ride chain. If you ride a different G2, you can look at the soft 7 cards and ride the G2 and get that free lock, which leads us to this card, Gravity Clash Dragon, which was a double rare like we said. So there's going to be 8 possible ways to get that double rare just in case. So even if you miss the ride chain with Breath Dragon, this card will still be another option as well. So again, the superior ride chain is going to be pretty stupid. Also, Japan adding their new mechanic where you get a guaranteed G1, G2 with ride chaining. Your odds are pretty up there, not going to lie. And them not being PGs as well, again, your odds are very high on at least getting the G1, maybe 75% of the time. I want to say 75. Since it's like 3 cards, I would say like 33% of actually getting the superior ride chain, which is actually pretty high for starting out hands. So this happened. So we all knew what happened. I mean, once you ride on Gravity, you lock a card for free. Yeah. And now, my God. Schwartzchild Dragon, obviously he was going to come. He was in the banner. Limit Break 4, Counterblast 3, Persona Blast. Like we said, he had to keep the CV3 just to keep his balance. But it still didn't change the fact what his effect did. You lock 3 of your opponent's rear guards, this unit gets plus 10,000 power and plus 1 critical. Really? And then when plays Counterblast 1, add a Schwartzchild Dragon to your hand. Notice how they buff this part. They didn't say, look at the top 5 cards. Get that card, and also, this is a floaty one. It says added to your hand. This sounds like a float effect with Zero's wording. When plays Kailath to add a Schwartzchild Dragon tier. This sounds like a floaty unit, I believe, with that type of wording. Like, really? Are you kidding? So it's always guaranteed to lock the front rows at late game, which is going to be freaking stupid, and do an Omega lock. Oh my god. Make sure you guys go watch my video on how to counter this, because that video was legit for Schwartzchild in general, with the boosters, the 12k units, so on and so forth. Just, gosh, why did they do this? Yes, this is like one turn, but imagine healing, and your opponent didn't even do the CB because he got the Schwartzchild from his superior right chain. You don't even have to spend the CB1. You spend CB3, you heal out of it, and you do it again. It's going to be so stupid now. Your RNG tells you, like, after doing this effect, if you heal, technically heal, this card's going to go off again. If you want to. That's why they don't have a counter charge in this set. If they did, holy crap, Schwartzchild would have been abused. Good thing their counter charger does not come till set 15, so we're good enough with this. Keep in mind, you will, like I said, Link Joker's going to be very micromanageable CB. If you don't play it right, you could obviously lose. You have to have a brain with this deck, kinda. If you don't do this, the CB correctly, you're going to lose. But judging from all the units that we've seen from Link Joker, it doesn't look like they're CB heavy at all. So this guy's possibly going to be the only CB heavy unit we're getting. Nebula was only a CB one. Freaking Break was Zero Gravity a CB one? I can't remember if he was a CB one. I think it was just one wrote upon, maybe. You don't CB one. So yeah, Zero Infinity was like free. So this is just icing on the cake. This is like, I can't even, like, start running those 6k boosters. You'll thank me later for it. You want to avoid the power creep and maybe start running those. Holy crap. And make sure you definitely, if you have G1s on the field, get rid of them with those things, because less locking, better results. And make sure you have intercepts in the front, so at least when they do that lock and they don't heal out of it, at least you had intercepts for the rest of the game. Because you'll possibly heal where they'll have to do an extra damage, so on and so forth. Just make sure to maintain that intercept game when Schwartzchild is about to happen, for sure. If Schwartzchild is about to happen, definitely maintain an intercept game. Just clean up your boosters in the back so he limits his freaking locking. That's all I can really say about that. Which is good, because that's what you're trying to avoid. So yeah, Schwartzchild, yikes. He kept the effect. Actually, he got a buff on the CB1 effect. So that's going to be a 4 counterblast. That's like most of it, if you do it. But that's the whole point about the ride chain, because you can just grab it. You can even just grab one. You don't even have to do it 3 times. What if you draw it? Then you don't have to do it. It's legit the blood without being at limit break 5. That's why you have to still maintain an intercept game, period. As long as you still have intercepts, you will be fine. Keep that in mind. To even do this effect twice, they would have to heal out of it. And if they did the effect where they add a floaty to their hand, again, they would have to double heal out of it. So just facing possibly the one heal could save you. You just have to have a good intercept game. That's about it. So be on the lookout. Yeah, Schwartzchild, he kept it, he buffed it, and lo and behold, Reverse Causidius was still the best. Now, I think Reverse Causidius is going to be really useful for, like, sacking. Definitely get rid of your units as fast as you can before Schwartzchild even goes off. I guess that's the beauty of GRANBLUE. I think GRANBLUE is actually a really good counter pick due to Night Mist being an 11k beat stick anyways. So GRANBLUE actually could be a great counter pick, believe it or not, with the amount of sacking your back rows with Night Mist. You don't even play back rows anymore. You just sack them with Night Mist, so there's nothing there. Night Mist already swings that Vanguard. If you hit a trigger, that's 1600. So again, you have a possible second attack coming at your opponent. So yeah, I mean, the best they do, they lock your Night Mist for a turn, then your Night Mists are still there, your Night Mists return back to normal, so on and so forth. So I think, believe it or not, Reverse Causidius is going to add a lot of depth for those matches that you can really give yourself that push. Thanatos being an extra attack is going to be amazing as well, as long as you can get the 5,000 power to your dude, your set, your golden. If it was like endgame, he's at 5th damage, obviously you're going to play the boosters in the back because you kept your back row clean with your Night Mists and stuff. So this is going to be pretty good count. GRANBLUE will have a lot of counter ability against Schwartzchild's effect. As long as you're sacking your units with Night Mist, you're good to go. If they can't lock the unit, you're set. And usually I like to throw my Vampire Kid in the cell pretty early, so I get rid of that for now. For sure. Thank God. Okay. Other things for people in Japan, they get a login bonus with triple rare ticket on the 9th day. Play rank fights and friend fights with reverse fires to get black ring fragments. Exchange 4-star Vader Nebula Dragon. Renskin can now be used on gold paladins. Ah. Yeah, you like that? The Renskin you guys bought, now you can use it for golds. So is that ultimate Zyqualia plot armor? Oh, guys, Red gonna play Ezel? Oh man, that's actually pretty funny, Ren and Ezel. Also, they're adding something nice for Japan, apparently. I guess we're going to get this too. Season 7 and 8 rewards available for purchase starting the 1st of November with tourney coupons. So with tournament coupons, now you'll be able to afford the double rares you missed out on. So at least they're trying to compensate you guys who missed those things. So if you didn't get the Ayusha, now you can. But besides that news, this Schwartzchild maintaining this effect is going to be more complaint than anything. Like I said, I suggest just go watch that video on how to counter it in my YouTube. You'll see it, and you'll like my ideas for it just to get around it. Trust me, it will help you not get locked to death. You will free yourself, and Schwartzchild cannot crit. He has to lock 3. Actually, that's actually, when you think about it, locking 3. He has to lock 3 units, right? What if you only have 2 units? Does the effect even go off if you can not have... You see, I always question Vanguard Zero's wording, but I know they always go like whatever's left, because technically, when I did the Giraffe back pretty much last month, I sacked 2 of my units just to sack 1 G04 runner. I know it was stupid, but I wanted to test if the effect would even go off like that, so it did. But I'm assuming... again, this is going to have to be tested in Japan, so one has to see it through. If your field only has the 2 units in the front row, would this effect even go off? Really think about that. Because it says lock 3. If you don't lock 3, you don't get critical. But I don't know if this is like that type of effect with Giraffe, where Giraffe was said sack 2 of your units just to kill your opponent's G1 or less, and I only killed like 1 G1, so it's possible. But with this wording, this wording's really standing out to me. This could be the only way to avoid Schwartzchild. And this is why I recommend those boosters. Like, don't play any other boosters besides those. If you don't get those, don't even play. Don't play those cards. If you get those cards, just sack them somehow by putting them in the front, then sack them with your G2s if you need to. So this is interesting, actually. Lock 3. What if you don't have 3? What if you only have the 2 front row units and that's about it? Do you sack their plan? Kinda. And actually, if they ride this on top of Gravity, they're only stalling. They're stalling possibly just like 1 column. I think that's the secret to stopping Schwartzchilds. When you're fighting Schwartzchild, you gotta avoid filling your back row. Like, play very conservative with your plays. As long as you don't give them 3 lock, you're like set. That way when you're at 4th damage, it's a lot harder for him to hit, in a sense, where if you get a trigger, the second you won't be able to attack unless he hit a trigger. So yeah, no, this card's going to be up for debate. Besides Garmer's effect being very, like, unthinkable, like, we don't know if it's going to stop the lock mechanic, because it says in your cards don't lose intercepts. But in Zero's wording, I mean, the TC's wording for locking says just turn the card face down. It didn't say it loses intercept. It says, nope, you turn face down. But the intercept is implied. So we'll see how that plays out in Japan with Vanguard. If not, then we're waiting for Scissors. So yeah, Schwartzchild, he kept it, but there is going to be a way around it. I'm pretty sure only having 2 units in your front row is be just enough to avoid this effect. That's why I love freaking Revengers. Raging Form sacking 3 of the back rows once I was done with them is good enough for me. That's all I can say about that. We're cleaning up house with that when we do Raging Form. Raging Form is going to be the best matchup against Schwartzchild. Sacking 3 of the back rows, 2 your front row stay. And that's another thing. I don't think he can lock the 2 front rows with Schwartzchild because he has to lock 3. If you don't have 3 units to lock, then actually you will maintain an intercept game, which is kind of funny, actually. You'll still have that intercept game. It's like you blocked like a vanilla unit. Alright, guys. I think we found maybe Schwartzchild's weakness. The lock 3 is definitely up in the air as a big what if I only have 2 units in the front row and that's it. Because I cleaned up my back row before you can touch me. So that's going to be interesting as well. Seriously. Gravity kept his effect. We all knew that. But definitely Reverse Causidius definitely stood out among everything. So with that, guys, I am done. Thanks for watching. I hope this video provides you more insight, more on your strats to play against. I hope everyone is excited for GRANBLUE, finally part 3, which we knew that were going to come eventually. And they were the start of the Link Joker, which is just amazing. I'm happy. This is great. I'm so happy GRANBLUE got their best unit finally. They're actually going to be a very playable deck on ladder now. Very playable. And thank my friend Ali for always updating me on the news when I'm sleeping so I can give you guys this amazing videos and my insight on the meta and the board. I'm pretty sure that's why Lord of the Seven Seas Nightmare got that effect, in case you had a sack unit. So technically, I'm going to say one more thing before we conclude. Technically, this is giving you a free boost. This is your booster play. Since your field is so clean, you ride on top of Nightmare, you get 2 boosters in the back. You do Reverse Causidius' effect. You bring in Thanatos. You bring in your Nightmare by sacking a different card in your hand. Then you're set. Thanatos attacks the Vanguard. You get an extra Nightmare. Now your row is set with intercepts. Your back rows are going to disappear anyways. You locked your back row already with Causidius, which is the only sucky part. He'll have 1 unit to sack, so Schwartzchild might have a big advantage on that part. But if you're only running around with, if you don't do the break ride, and you got rid of your Forerunner, which I'm assuming you did, you'll be able to get away with it. Keep in mind, Reverse Causidius versus Schwartzchild will be situational because you still have to lock one of your cards, which means you'll technically have 3 units to lock. That's the only issue that's going to be when you do a GRANBLUE versus Schwartzchild mirror match. You're going to have to fight that crit, which means you're going to have to freaking keep up the defense. And with this, you got to do what you got to do, pretty much. All right, guys, I am done talking. Thanks for watching. This was a lot of news to go over. Peace out. Be good. Stay safe. I'm glad I can always bring you guys some of the updates on Vanguard 0 and our future in this game in February. My birthday. All right. Peace.